Today, we're going to talk about investments. I'm going to get into some detail that I generally don't cover, and I think it's really important. And so I want to address this from a very wide perspective. I want you to be thinking about investments not just from what your financial advisor can provide you, not just what you can get from your stock brokerage. You need to be able to look at investing and money as a wide image. Do not have your blinders on. It is so important, and that's the number one problem that I see people making with their investments. They only think of it as a select few amount of stocks. There's so much more to money, so much more to investing, and I think that you should always keep this in mind. So let's talk about a few things today. I don't have a full itinerary, but I'd like to touch on many things. And one is that you need to be investing into things that provide you with passive income. I think this is the most important thing about investing. And that is being able to bring in income when you're sleeping, bring in income when you're on vacation, and all throughout the day, all throughout the year. If you only have an investment that's there that will make money when you sell it, I really don't like that. That's not the reason why I like investing. So if you're going to work a 9-to-5 job, you're going to put money away, maybe into your retirement account, maybe you hold it in sort of a tax-free savings account, maybe you want it in an IRA, or maybe you're just holding it in an investment account. If you are waiting for one day that appreciation to come, you're missing out on the best part. Number one, generally when you put, every area is different in the world, but when you put money into an investment that is waiting for capital gains, as soon as you sell, you're going to pay a higher rate of tax than those who are doing it through a business, as well as doing this in a passive sort of income. They're taxed at lower rates in general. Of course, as I mentioned, depends on where you are. So that's one thing, passive income. Well, also you need to be addressing what kind of investments you're getting into. If all of them are paper, that's not diversified. That really is not diversified. It isn't really sophisticated investing if you only do things in one asset class. You need to be getting involved in more. There are many ways to do it, and I can't cover everything on here, but there are many asset classes, not just paper, okay? So you have paper, you have real estate, you have commodities like precious metals, and the forgotten one, business. You want to be able to provide yourself a monthly income. Even if you're working a 9-to-5 job, you want to have something coming in that if you lose that job, okay, well, at least I have this little bit of money coming in every month. And people aren't even addressing the root cause of what's going on, and that is your money diminishes every day. So you want to be able to make money every single day, not 3 years from now and wait for that appreciation at the time you're ready to sell. I want to make money every month, or hopefully even every 2 weeks. Some businesses will pay you every 2 weeks or so on. So that's something to note. I want it as soon as possible, and then I can reinvest it. I can reinvest it into another business, another product, another, doing online courses and things, investing in yourself, as they say. I want to be able to buy new books. I want to buy courses. I want to be able to buy things that make me better off in some sort of way. So these are things that I think are all part of investing in yourself, investing in let's say knowledge. I think that's one issue that people aren't thinking about. Now, also, you need to be reducing your costs, okay? When you reduce your costs, it's like making more money. Look around in the things that you buy. Look around in the things that you are putting your money out every month. Maybe it's car payments, maybe it's this or that. Is it really wise to have all of these things? Do you want to have 2 cars in the driveway? Maybe one is totally sufficient, but you just had it because of this circumstance or that circumstance. Maybe it's better to just sell it. Even if you're taking some losses, it would be better over a long period of time. Look at things that you have around the house. Why aren't you selling these things? I know personally for me, I don't have too much. I have everything that I need, thankfully, but in terms of things, I look at a lot of people's houses and they're filled with a lot of things. You might hear an echo in this room. That's because there's really nothing in it. I mean, I have my computer, I have my exercise equipment, and that's basically it. That's all I've got. That's what I need. I have the things that I need, and anything else I either gave away or I sold. That's what I want to do with my things, and I think that it would be wise if you did the same. If you get rid of the clutter, you can then free up room to bring in new things, new information, and new perspectives even. It's kind of interesting the way it happens. Either get rid of it, donate it. If it's clothing or anything, just try to move it out, okay? Look around and try to save. Don't try to necessarily clip coupons and things. I'm talking about getting rid of the monthly expenses that you have that you really don't need. Look around objectively, go through all of the things that you do. I know a lot of people that budget, okay? They have this budget. So they make, let's say, $1,000 a month. Okay, well, I have to spend $500 on my mortgage, $200 on my food, and $100 on this, $50 on that, and at the end of the month, I'm left with $50. But every month, I'm saving $50. I promise, I don't do anything about that. But is that really the way that you should be looking at your finances? Don't budget. Be able to reduce costs in every way you can. That's so important. Reduce the cost. Really objectively look through it, okay? So that's another thing. Because I look at this really as a whole wide approach. I don't just say, well, I'm earning this much, I can see that I need to put it into whatever stock. It's not really an in-depth investing way to look at things. I see a lot of people in the financial industry, sadly, who put people's money into just a few stocks or a few mutual funds, and they just hold it there, and that's it. That's the end of it. And that's not wise. If you're going to your financial advisor, you need to ask them, what are you doing actively? I want to know what you're doing with my money actively. I'm talking about weekly, monthly. What have you done? Oh, it's still in there? Is that really what I'm paying you for? You pay a lot of money to have your financial advisor take a look at what you do. Now, if you invest more passively, let's say in an ETF, well, is that the most wise way? I'm not necessarily suggesting anything, but is that the most wise way to do things? Is that where most of your savings are? And speaking of savings, if you have your money in a bank account, I can't stress this enough. This is such a big mistake that most generally unsophisticated people make. They start to put their money into all of these different bank accounts and their checking savings. It doesn't matter. And they're looking for a return on it. They're getting 0.5% or something silly. And I believe that that isn't wise either. You need to be able to handle your own finances. If it's a family member, you might want to talk to them and just be a little bit smarter with your investments. Be able to diversify them. The banks are not safe places to have money. And if you think that your other assets are safe either, no, that's not the case. That's why diversification is so important. If I have 4 different assets, suddenly I'm much more diversified and much more prepared for any issue. And that brings me to my final point here, talking about preparation. There are a lot of people out there who have one way of looking at it, okay? They're like, I'm going to be, I got my bug out bag, I have my, preparations, I'm a prepper, and that's it. That's all I need. I don't need anything else. But that's not taking advantage of the time in between now and then. You need to be prepared in every way that you can. You want to have these different preparations made. Everybody should do that. I think it's so wise, but don't focus on it. It's the same thing with the gold and silver. If you only have gold and silver, you're not fully diversified, despite the fact of what Mike Maloney says. But I think gold and silver is great, but have some and just forget about it. Don't worry about the price on a daily basis, about the manipulation. Don't focus on that. Have some. All the cultures in the East, they use gold and silver. They use it high carat jewelry. They give each other gold coins at different ceremonies like weddings and other things. They don't think about it. They don't think, oh, this is going to be worth $2,000 tomorrow. They take it, they pass it on generation to generation. That's it. That's what I think about gold and silver. I don't care what the price is. I take some, I have some, and then I just forget about it. And then you will pass that on generation to generation, keeping that wealth within the family, keeping it secure, and so on. So that's it. I think that we need to take a whole wide approach, and I hope that this video has been able to provide you with some good knowledge, some good perspective, and good ideas. If you did find it informative, then please give me a thumbs up. Check out the links in the description. If you haven't already, come on, why haven't you subscribed? Click that button, do us all a favor, join over 100,000 people that are here on this channel learning every single day. I'm learning from you, you're learning from me, and we can all be better off in the end. Take care and see you next time.